Hey folks, Dr. Adrian here from North Georgia Upper Cervical Clinics in Lula. We are not just a chiropractic clinic, we also have wellness programs here. And one of those is the laser therapy that we use here. I use specific laser therapies that are research based. And so that is the Zerona Z6 for waist circumference reduction and opening up fat cells, okay, to get that loss going on. And I also have the GVL, which is the green and violet therapy light from Aconia. Both those products are from a company called Aconia. Now, why did I choose Aconia over other products that are out there? Because they're the ones with all the research I'm going to show you in this little video. Okay, so in this video, I want to go over what I have is laser and the difference between laser and LED. And it's really simple. We're going to go straight to it. I'm going to explain. Now, there's a wellness clinic north of us with a company and their products in it. There's a certain company that's doing this, and I want to address that. And the reason I'm explaining that so you understand the difference. They are advertising as laser, and they are not. They are LED therapy, red light therapy. Okay, so red light therapy. Okay, so when I say LED, I'm really meaning red light therapy when you hear that. Okay. These are LED diodes. And the difference between Aconia's products is what's called incoherent and coherent light. So these products here have incoherent light. Penetration is less, the light goes everywhere, and it doesn't specifically hit a target. With Aconia's laser therapy, they hold a patent to be able to do this. The other guys can't touch it. So they have the patent to specifically put it into a beam of light that penetrates deeper. So when we're talking about the human body and how deep it can go, this can go a lot deeper, right? And it has to do that for the Zerona Z6 because in order to get down there, it has to open up the fat cells. And those fat cells then leach the lipids and they get smaller. You understand? And we know from research that's open for 72 hours. These guys can't hack that. They can't get anywhere close to it. So understand the difference with these two products here is very different when you look at the coherent to incoherent light. Now, this company up in Havisham, there's a clinic up there that's using that company. I can't really mention the name, but I've looked at their research, okay? And a lot of red light companies are doing this. There's a couple of brands I've seen that are using Aconia. So you can look at the research yourself. You can see this brand right here that spends millions of dollars on their research. Millions of dollars, right? It's about $1 million for each research project to prove that they have 22 FDA clearances. Now, I know we don't like three-letter agencies, I agree, but you know what, in the environment that we're in order to get this as a naturopathic product, it's really, really hard to do, but it also says to the medical industry in the world that this works, right? Because they're looking at the research and they're trying to see if something works, they want the research. So the research has got 22 FDA clearances on their light therapies, okay? I have two of them in my office. I have a GVL2. And we use that for a lot of our chiropractic patients to get them out of pain faster, but also to help their therapies as they get on. I use it for brain therapies with ADHD kids, but it's FDA cleared for pain. Right, that GVL is. So that's the difference. Now that company, and there's a wellness clinic north of me that's starting to advertise saying they've got all this amazing product, it's going to do X, Y, and Z, but the research behind that company, not that clinic itself, but the research is nicking, that's a British term, stealing the research of Aconia for their product to say it works, but it doesn't. It doesn't because it's incoherent light. It doesn't get deep enough to do what the Zerona Z6 does in the amount of time. And so it might mean you need triple the therapies, but you know there's research coming out that's saying that red light therapy, when it goes past a certain threshold, gets you above the threshold, starts damaging your mitochondrial cells. Now what's the What's the importance behind the mitochondrial cell? Don't have to remember these names, just want to teach you, right? You have a mitochondrial cell, and inside, you remember high school PE, they talked to you, or biology, they talked about a Krebs cycle, right? Now, if you're younger, it's a citric acid cycle, but the old cycle is called Krebs. And out of here comes out what? ATP, which is your energy system, your energy molecule, right? The thing that you need to survive. If you don't have ATP, you're dead because your heart can't contract, as well as other things. And so you need that mitochondrial cell, and this is starting to show in research that it's damaging that. That's coming out soon. All right. Now, it might be because the amount of exposure that you need from something like that to try and get the same results as Zerona is causing damage to it. Don't know it yet. We've got to wait for the research to come out. But what this does is it takes your mitochondrial cell, and there's a system in it, right? And that system, I'm going to break it out over here, has a membrane. And you have 4 segments of this membrane that have to do with your energy system. Do you have to remember it? It's called the electron transport chain, but don't worry about it. We know that violet light hits these 2. So violet, green light hits this one, and red light hits this one. Red laser. And you know, red light therapy might hit some of that, but nowhere near as good as what the Zerona Z6, the Accelerate, and the GVL do. So because Aconia can make their light into literally about that wide, instead of broadcasting, this is coherent light, as opposed to this being broadcasted across, they're able to hit this energy system, and they've proven it through research, which gave them all these clearances in the first place. And so I know that I have a GVL, which is green and violet, and that hits 3 of those segments of the energy system of your body, which helps heal the body and speed up the healing. We know that Zerona can also hit the red. It's just a different wavelength of frequency designed to hit the fat cells, but we know it also hits the red. In fact, a lot of my patients on Zerona end up saying, you know, the biggest thing I've noticed is I've got more energy during the day. And so I wanted to explain that to you so that when you're comparing products, you can see the difference is this is broadcast light, incoherent, there's no direction to it. And Zerona actually holds the pattern to be able to take that diode and put the light so specific into a line so that it can go dive deeper into the body and actually get where it's meant to go. Does this work? Hey, I use a red light blanket on my lower back in the morning, warming up. So I don't say it doesn't work in any way whatsoever. I even suggest it to my chronic low back people because they can't come see me forever, right? So I do that I suggest they buy one of those, put it on their lower back. Hey, if you want to get one of those, I'm not opposed to it. I can give you a link to a good company that I trust with their product that has been doing pretty well. But to say that that gets the same results as Zerona Z6 is kind of false advertising, especially when this company is using Aconia's research to back up their product. And if you want to find that, just look at their advertising on their websites. There's a number of companies that are doing this in the red light world. They're nicking Aconia's research, and you just got to look at where they're listing their research, and then they'll give you a link a lot of times to where that research product is. Go find that link, click on it, and you'll see this company's name, Aconia, written right there in black and white. And I've seen it several times so far. This is why I'm getting on here, because it's mis-selling a product that does not have the benefit that we have. Hey, we have a new measurement device in our office. It's called the SkyQ. You're going to stand there. It's going to monitor your body and take an image. It's called an infrared image. So there's no me putting a tape around you and trying to measure certain areas. This program is going to do it for you. And so this is our intake program for the Zerona now. So you don't have to be a chiropractic patient to come get Zerona treatments. If you're unhappy with your waist and you've been trying some things, a lot of times Zerona is the catalyst that you need to push you over the edge and get things rolling in the right direction. We've got it here in our clinic. This is a major investment on my part to help people out who maybe you've been on Ozempic or some of the other weight loss peptides, and it hasn't quite worked for you, or you've had to come off because you couldn't afford it. And then suddenly you've started putting all the weight back on. Or maybe you got compacted and had to go to hospital like some people have. These are all counter effects of Ozempic and Wegovy and Mounjaro, and they're listed in the side effects, so I'm not advertising against them anyway. They're right for the right people, but a lot of times there's some natural inventions we can do beforehand. So if you tried changing your diet and things haven't quite worked and you need some more help, then I'm here for you. Come in, let's get a scan. Let's do a Zerona treatment for you, and we'll get you heading in the right direction, okay? There's no hard sell in this office. We don't believe in that. I'm going to explain the product to you. You're going to see a couple of videos, and then you're going to make a decision for yourself on whether you want to walk down that road. Take care. God bless. Bye-bye.